What's going on, dudes and dudettes? It's Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today's February 4th, 2010. Hope you all are having a great day, as I am, and hopefully your trading has gone well. I'm just going to jump right into today's update because we got a lot to cover. First things first, if this is your first time visiting this blog, there's a link right above this video that says if this is your first time visiting this blog, read this first. It's there for a reason, because if you click on it, it will give you the rules to the system. You're going to want to read that, get familiar with it, and then come back and watch these videos, because it'll make a lot more sense. Otherwise, you're going to watch these videos and you're not going to know what it is I'm talking about. So it's a good idea to read those rules, kind of get familiar with it, even if you can go through some charts and look at it and kind of go through it. Then come back, and I guarantee you're going to get a lot more value out of these videos. But for you regulars out there who've come back once again to hear my boring voice, I appreciate you coming back, and thank you for all your support, and hope your trading is doing well. Hope these videos are helping you a lot. Anyway, so for all you that see this on a regular basis, this is nothing new. We have our 15-minute chart and our 4-hour chart open on the cable. First things first, I'm going to open my 4-hour chart so we can find our trend. So I'm moving this back to before midnight so you can see what my 4-hour chart looks like before we start trading. Now, our most recent trend change candle took place yesterday in the middle of our session, and it was for a downtrend. And since that time, we haven't had any new trend change candles. Therefore, at the start of our day, we were only looking for short trades. Now, if I move forward through today's action, you can see a whole lot of bearish movement, which is good for us. Means the trend was solidified today. And also there's no new trend change candles, therefore throughout the whole day we only look for short trades, which makes it a lot easier. Don't have to go back and forth and all that sort of stuff. So today only look for short trades, and it's really as simple as that. And most of the time it is simple, provided that we don't have a trend change candle right in the middle of our trading session. So that should be pretty self-explanatory. But again, if you're new to this and if you're not following, go ahead and rewind that part of the video and go through it again, or ask questions if I'm not explaining it clearly enough, because sometimes I tend to do that. Sometimes I just go through it kind of fast, and you know, it can get lost on you, and that happens to me sometimes. So don't feel bad if you need to ask a question or anything like that. Alright, so now I got my 15-minute chart open. I have moved this back to before midnight again so we can look at what my 15-minute chart looks like before the trading day starts. And of course, first things before we start trading is that we want to take a look at our news events for the day. So you can go to babypips.com, click on this tools tab. It's going to automatically pull up the news events for the day. Just make sure this drop down bar where it says time zone is set to your correct time zone, because if not, then you will have the wrong time. So of course you want to have the right times when you're looking at news events. And again, we're not looking for the forecasts or what's predicted or what the numbers are. We're just looking at what times they come out, because part of our rules is that we are not in the markets when news events come out. Alright, and we're just looking for news events that affect the sterling or the dollar, because that's a currency pair we're trading. So under this currency column, anything that says GBP or USD, that's the news events that we're looking out for. And not all of them are major, but a lot of them are. So, and just by following the blog, you'll kind of get a sense of what I regard as notable news events. Today, obviously, if it's in red, that's very important. We have the Bank of England, the rate decision. That's always a big thing. 7 a.m. there, so jot that down. 8:30, we got initial jobless claims, NFP, which is always a big one. The first Friday of every month is the NFP, so you always want to watch out for that. 10 o'clock, we got factory orders, and then 10:30, we have these chain store sales. So quite a few news events today. Again, let's see, 7, 8:30, 10, and 10:30. So you're just going to want to jot that down, put it in a notepad. That's what I do. Or you can set an alert or some kind of alarm to let you know when those news events are coming out, because you don't want to be in the market at those times. Alright, so now that I have my news events ready, I know I'm only looking for short trades. I am now ready to begin my trading day. Alright, so I'm going to move my chart forward one candle at a time and give you my thought process as the market comes along, and hopefully it'll get you to start thinking the way that I think when it comes to trading this system. So let's just move forward. And early on we get a crossover right at 12:30. So now the next thing we want to do is look at our indicators. RSI is below 50, Let's see, MACD has gone from positive to negative. Now if we look at stochastics, you could see that it's not quite crossed down. It hasn't quite touched yet. So this is not a valid entry because this has to either have been crossed down or trending down, and that's not the case at this point. So no entry there. Some of you guys might have taken this, but as far as my end goes, as far as my indicators go, it's not a valid entry because all three of my indicators don't line up. So no entry for me there. And if you did happen to take that trade, it should have been pretty profitable for you. But again, my indicator showed that it was not a valid entry for me. Okay, so we're already starting to see this bearish movement go along. So what I'm waiting for now is a retracement. That way I can look for a re-entry, and I can't have a re-entry unless I have a retracement first. Alright, so it's 6:15, 6:30. I know news is coming on at 7, so I'm not going to take any trades. And of course, look at this big news candle. So we continue to move on. Now we have our retracement, so now I can start to look for that re-entry for a short trade. And I get a crossover here at 8:45. Let me zoom back. There's a news candle right there, 8:30. 8:45. This opens at 8:45, closes at 9. So this is okay to take if it's a valid signal. So we'll look at our indicators. RSI is below 50, stochastics trending down. MACD is positive and losing value, so this is a valid entry. Again, this is okay to take because it's after our news. And again, our next news event isn't until 10, so it gives us over an hour, or about an hour of trading time, so that's okay. So we're going to enter at the close of this candle, or as close to it as possible, at 58.44. Our stop's going to be at the most recent swing high at 58.85. And our stop will be at the nearest 0 or 50 level. In this case, it's at 5,800. So it gives us about 44 pips of potential profit, which is great. So now we can just move on. And again, before I start trading, I know that whether I'm in profit or negative, I will exit my trade before the 10 o'clock news. Okay? And put a little asterisk besides that because we're going to get to that in a little bit. So now that I move forward, moving forward, it's 9:30. Now, here's a 9:45 candle. I know I'm going to exit, alright, but at this candle, look what's happening. My target has been hit. Not only has it been hit, but there's a clean break here. So now you've already hit your initial target. And so part of the rules is that you're not in during news events. However, let's think about this logically. If you've hit your target, you've already made profit. If you move your stop to your initial target, you can lock in that profit. And why not go for more? I mean, even if it is a news candle, even if it goes against you, you've already established that you've hit your target, so you'll still lock in that 44 pips. However, if the market continues to drop, you're at a gain. So it's really, there's no risk involved here. And that's why I always say rules sometimes can be bent, and this is one of those cases. Excuse me. Now, so I know that my target has been hit. There's a definite clean break there. So instead of exiting my trade completely, even though there's news coming out, I'm just going to move my stop to 5,800 and set my next target for 57.50. Why not? It could be hit. So now as we move on, there's the news candle, and I do get close to getting stopped out at 5,800, but it doesn't quite get there. So now I'm at a good position here, and I know again news is coming out at 10:30, but still I can keep my stop at 5,800 and still lock in those 44 pips, and why not go for 57.50? So I'm going to continue moving on. There's 10:30 news. So now I'm just holding on to my trade. It's basically a free trade. I've already locked in 44 pips. Now I'm just going for more. I'm just trying to maximize my profit, and that's perfectly okay. Even if there is a news event. Again, we get close to getting stopped out here, but we don't get stopped out. So now we're still in the trade with the 44 pips locked in, and we're just watching it and continuing to see if we get hit at 57.50. And sure enough, at 11:30 we do. So again, now it's getting close to noon. Market volume dies down. But why exit my trade completely? I can, lock in that extra 50 pips that I just made at 57.50. I'll just move my stop there and set my next target for 5,700. I mean, why not? There's really no reason why I shouldn't try to go for more. I've already locked in, at this point, 94 pips. So might as well just continue to see how long it'll ride. So I move to the next candle, and bam, there I go. I get stopped out. So again, the rules are sometimes meant to be broken. I don't have much time here to elaborate, but always use your head. If you're already winning in a trade and you've locked in a certain amount of pips, just go for more. Alright, so that's it for today's update. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cowabunga, dudes.